Now then. This is a module I found about half an hour ago, and I've been very, very happy about. I came to Foundry from using Fantasy Grounds, as you may know, and the only feature that I think Fantasy Grounds destroyed Foundry on was a calendar. A decent calendar set up in Fantasy Grounds that let you choose what the day, week, month pattern was, let you set notes in advance of things happening, is something that was very hard to find in Foundry, because the only real calendar module for a long time seemed to be one that tied in to About Time, which was a much more complex module that I've personally not had any interest in. The whole concept of About Time was it dictated that every round of combat equaled 6 seconds, so therefore using that you could tie in automatic expiration of events, of like spell durations, and the calendar would tickle, the clock would tick along and move the hours and days along, and you could tie it into like sunrise, sunset, and the light and darkness settings of your map. Sounds great in theory, but when I started setting up with it, the way my campaign plays, there were so many things where I found myself having to quickly overwrite it and stop it and make exceptions, so it just didn't seem worth it in the long run. However, there's a module called Simple Calendar. I've not even set it up for my game yet. I've just found it, clicked through it, and wanted to tell you about it. When you enable Simple Calendar, you have an icon on your Foundry screen, Calendar, and it brings it up. If I go into, we can set what, the day of the year. Obviously, it's going off the Gregorian calendar, the real life calendar. But I can go to configure. Now in here, we can choose quick predefined. Very offended that the Faerunian calendar isn't in here, even though Barovia seems to go off its own. But I can go in, set the year type, the prefix, the current year. I can set how long days and weeks and months are. That's fine. Time setting, that's fine. The thing I'm really interested in is when we are on our calendar, we can add notes on days. And when we add a note, we can choose whether to make them visible or not, and we can choose whether to have them repeat. This is invaluable. When you run a long campaign, particularly a campaign the length of mine, my players have been in situations where they have gone to, for example, Curse of Strahd spoilers coming up. Before I really ramped up the danger of the Selenka Pass in Curse of Strahd, this Arctic, freezing mountain pass to the Amber Temple. So I made it clear to my group that they would need to get cold weather gear. So they went to a tailor's. The tailor said, well, we're short supplied because everybody is in Barovia. If you go and bring us enough wolf pelts, we can rush an order through and we can make those cold weather clothes for you. My players did that, and I said, yeah, come back in 4 days. The problem is, if any of you have ever seen my campaign, my group are such talkers that 4 days in-game can easily be 20 sessions. Easily. We've had days where we play for 3 hours a week. We have had days where we realised, hold on, this in-game day has been 9 sessions. This in-game session has had more. We've had more hours RP in this day out than there would actually be in the day. So it can be really difficult for you as a DM to keep track of. 5 months ago, I was going to say, this shopping was going to be ready. So you can come in when all this is set up. I know this is a Gregorian calendar, but let's pretend I said, right, on Tuesday, I want to add a note. In fact, we'll go to Wednesday next week, and we'll add a note. Wednesday reminder. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Save. And now I have a notification on there as I'm moving the day along in my campaign. And I imagine at the start of each session, maybe at the end of each session, you'd come in here and you'd update the date or time. I'm not interested in running the time because I'd rather just talk about the time and, what the sun's doing. But at the end of each day, I might move the campaign forward and go, yeah, set the current date, we have moved forward. And then I, as a DM, session by session, can see those reminders. More Curse of Strahd stuff. If you start your Curse of Strahd campaign off and you set to yourself, right, this is the in-game year and date. I think there is an in-game year and date. It's something like 735, I think. I can't remember where I know that from. It's obviously mentioned in the book. Things like when you get to Vallaki and the Festival of the Blazing Sun is in 3 days, you can have it set in the calendar. So whatever date the players get to Vallaki, they're going to have a few sessions of looking around, getting to know people. You can just go and drop these things in. It's massively, massively helpful for you as a DM. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to be going and configuring this module, setting it up for use in my campaign, because I am very, very happy about this. This was, for me, the one big thing that Foundry lacked, just to make me, obviously Foundry has brought a load of features in that have made me very, very happy compared to my old system. This is the one thing that's always been a bit of a thorn in my side that it just couldn't do. So I'm very happy. I've been using, on my Discord server, I have a category channel set for each of the campaigns I run or that the player in. It's obviously restricted to only those players. And in each campaign I do, I've had to have a channel, read-only, except for me, just called, campaign calendar, and it would have the current date is so-and-so, upcoming events, this and this. I can just use this now. So yeah, very happy with it. Hope you found it useful as well. That was Simple Calendar. As ever, leave me a comment, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see in a future video, any module recommendations, but otherwise, until then, take care.